Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on April the 8th, 2020. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is risky business, so please be careful with your money. All right, as usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So in terms of our news here, there wasn't anything major. In terms of our Asian session news here, Japan's current account. This is our what do you call it? Exports minus imports. Orders here. This is positive, which is interesting considering what's going on. So this is good for Japanese yen. And on Wednesday here, again, not a whole lot, but we do have FOMC meeting minutes coming out here. In regards to the Fed here, we have seen that they are basically throwing everything at the market, and they're basically we are full into the quantitative easing here. So at this point, I'm not really expecting a whole lot of change in that. If anything, I would expect them to even try to support the market even more. So that's that. And then other than that, we have Bank of Japan, Governor Kuroda speaking here. So Japan is also putting together a stimulus program at this point. And actually, I think they just announced it yesterday, a really big a package here in terms of the stimulus. So that's basically what I would expect to hear more in regards to from Bank of Japan here. And then we have RBA Financial Stability Review, but that is it in terms of the news here. So let's move on to our charts. So we'll start off with euro dollar as usual. We see that we had a big move to the upside here in euro, but price is into resistance here. So right now, I am looking for a drop here in euro. Now the question would be, how far does it come? So that will be the important thing here. First target here would be 1.0830 level. And once price gets into this level here, then we could get something like this. So that's something we have to watch out for. Overall, what we have seen is equity markets did well yesterday and today, and a lot of that had to do with some positive sentiment in regards to the coronavirus or decrease in the coronavirus cases. However, earlier in the New York session today, we saw that the numbers that were reported from CDC, which is Center of Disease Control, were actually higher than what were reported otherwise. And that flipped the markets, and we did see a drop in the equities. So with that, now it looks like there is, again, more uncertainty in the market. And when that happens, we do tend to see the flows going into the into US dollars. So this is why I'm expecting this one to drop here. Like I said, the first target would be 1.0830. Second target would be 1.0765, which is the bottom here of this pin. So right now I am looking for a drop for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, we did see a move up today, but same thing here. We did have a bullish candle close, but I am looking for a bit of a drop here as well. With the British pound here, though, we do need to be careful here. We'll have to keep an eye on what happens with Prime Minister Boris Johnson here, and if we see that he's getting better, that will be positive for British pound, and we could see that this one go up higher. But for now, my bias is neutral for this. I'm not bullish on this at this point. I think we could see British pound drop further here. So right now we do have a bit of a downtrend here, even though we have a bullish candle close for the day. So I am looking for a drop. First target here would be 1.2200. Now, keep in mind, though, if we see that price does not drop below 1.2285, it can go higher. So that's something we have to watch out for. So it could do one of these and go back into the top of the range here. So watch out for that. So right now, bias is neutral for pound dollar, and I am looking for a bit of a move to the downside here for British pound as well. Aussie dollar here, this one, as we can see, we did have a nice bullish candle close for the day, but price is into resistance here. So same thing here, as we can see, this is the range that Aussie has established here. So I'm looking for price to drop back towards the middle of the range first. So first target is 0.6080, and then potentially into 0.5980. So bias here is to the downside for Aussie dollar as well. New Zealand dollar here, this one as well, we see that price is into resistance here, and I'm looking for a drop back towards the bottom of the range here. First target would be 0.5900, and then 0.5850, which is the bottom of this range here. So bias is to the downside for New Zealand dollar as well. Dollar CAD here, nice drop for dollar CAD as we were expecting yesterday, but this one as well is right into support here. So overall, though the bias is to the downside, I would be careful with this one here. Bias is neutral for this one. So what I'm looking for here is a potential move into 1.4080, and then it could drop from there. So we could get something like this. So keep an eye out for that. So for now, bias is neutral. If it drops below 1.3950, then I will look for a further move to the downside. So for now, this is neutral. All right, let's take a look at commodities, starting off with silver here. We did see a nice move to the upside, but a large pin here. So bias is bearish for silver here. In terms of our target, the first target is right into this 14.70 level, and then below that we're looking at 14.20, so bearish bias for silver. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is that we could see price come into this support level, and then it could bounce off because this is an important support resistance level. So do keep an eye on 14.70 level here. If it holds above, then I will look for a further move to the downside. But overall, though, because bias is bearish, I am looking to see if price will break through this level and then move lower. So this is the move that I am expecting. But like I said, if it doesn't get through that 14.70 level, it could make another move to the upside. So be cautious of that one. So bias is bearish with caution though. Gold here, same thing here as well. We did see initial move to the upside right into the first target here, and then it has dropped from there. So bias here is bearish. Now it is right into support here, so watch out for that. If it doesn't go through 1638 level, again, it could bounce off. The bias is bearish though, and second target here is 1625 level. So bearish bias for gold as well. Oil here, oil, as we talked about yesterday, it went and retested this resistance level, and we have a bearish candle close. So looking for a further drop here. And in terms of our targets, first target would be 27.00, and second target 25.40. So bearish bias for oil. Copper here, nice big move to the upside, just above our first target for copper here. But we do have a large pin on the top, which means we could see a drop here. That's a big rejection. So right now, my bias is more to the downside, but watch out for a pullback. We could get a pullback like that before it drops. So that's something to keep in mind. But overall bias is to the downside for copper. Bitcoin here, we did see a move higher and then a nice pin bar now. So bias is bearish here. First target is 6860 level, and then below that we have 6680. So bearish bias for Bitcoin as well. Let's take a look at our equities now. A big pin bar here, like we talked about yesterday, we did get that move up right into our target there. But with the numbers being reported by CDC there, that it showed that there was actually the number of cases or number of deaths as well had gone up. And that's why we have seen this reversal in the markets before the markets were had this positive sentiment, because the numbers that were coming out were actually there was a decline in the new cases, so also decline in a number of fatalities, and as a result of that, market was very optimistic. But with the numbers being reported by CDC, things have turned around here. So big pin bar here, looking for price to drop. First target is 25.70, and then second target is 25.20. So bearish bias for S&P 500. NASDAQ here, same thing, big move to the upside and then a reversal. In this case, first target is 78.85, so bias is bearish. And then second target here is 77.50, so bias is bearish for NASDAQ as well. Dow Jones here, same thing. Price went right into that resistance level and has moved lower from there. So looking for a move to the downside here in terms of our target here. First target is 21,980, so about 22,000. And then second target here is 21,500, so bearish bias for Dow Jones as well. DAX here, we have a similar move in DAX as well. First target here is 10,000, and then below that we're looking at 98.25, so bearish bias for DAX as well. Same thing with FTSE, nice pin bar there. So looking for a drop. 5,500 is the first target, and then second target here is 53.75. So FTSE's bearish as well. Nikkei, we do have a similar type of move here in Nikkei as well. So bias is bearish. In terms of our target here, we are looking at, first target would be 18,500, and then below that we have 18,100. So bias is bearish for FTSE as well. So that's it for today. Have a wonderful trading day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.